Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Today's characters, you can see they have a rhythm and they are made of the same thing. Just double it, triple it. So this is mu, wood, lin, woods, sen, forest. So Chinese have this distinction, this very visual way to show what is considered woods versus forest. So the U.S. Forestry Department, I believe, that the authority who define what's considered woods versus forest. It turned out it's mostly defined by the density of the trees. So if within an area, above 60% of the area covered by trees, then that's considered forest versus below, I think it's 25 to 60, that would be considered woods. So out of the woods, as in English expression, is actually not forest, it's a lower density tree coverage. Versus Chinese, when we are expressing woods versus forest, well, first off, what is wood? Okay, wood, at the beginning of my One Word a Day episode, I was visualizing it differently, but now I'm totally agreeing with the view of the top curves are canopy of the tree. The bottom pointing downwards are the roots of the tree, and then it's connected by the trunk of the tree. It is not necessarily proportional because the trunk probably is a lot higher than that, but the major components of the tree, the sun-facing side and I guess the ground nutrition facing side. So the tree have both ends to absorb nutrition and sunlight for it to survive, right? To generate nutrition for itself. So that's the basic structure of what's considered wood or tree. Then we double it, it means more than one, means multitudes of trees. And are made of Chinese capital wood. And when we triple it, and note here, when Chinese triple things, that's multitudes. So what's the difference between this multitudes and this multiplication? Obviously, this is like one more tree, right? And it's at least a magnitude more of trees, not just one singular one, right? And to me, it visually shows when we show three of the same thing, we're going to stack up like 1, 2, 3 in this triangle shape. That's normally how Chinese, when we repeat the same element 3 times, that's the structure. Over here, when it applies to forest, I can almost see, I can visualize how the forest would mean to me. So beyond the U.S. Forestry Department's definition, which is based on the tree density, which is based on the surface density of tree population in that square footage or something, right? That's based on one dimension. It's the surface of the ground, how densely the trees are covered. Sen, however, provide this visual vertical space. So besides the density, it also have a diversity. Why diverse? Because normally trees of the same species or same types of trees, they're going to grow similar height. But if you see this, a higher tree stacked over or towering over the other trees, that means it's a different type of trees, right? So that shows you the diversity of tree that made of forest. And I further kind of deduce of woods are probably more like a piece or cluster of same type of trees that's most likely to be planted by humans of this planting economic tree for use of humans. So it's like artificial forest, so to speak. But forest because it has the biodiversity in there, a diverse type of trees in different height, and probably it's not evenly spread out as in the woods situation, that it's more original formation of this bio system that within this forest. So it shows another dimension to us, and not just ground level tree density, but it shows the tree diversity. And from the tree diversity, I infer that that could mean it's forest in its earthly original natural form. It's not planted or planned or interfered by humans, because humans plant trees for logging purpose or other human use. But forests are trees' existence with or without human activity. So that's my understanding and how I visualize, how I would imagine these concepts apply to our natural world. Here I'm showing two expressions that use sen. One is sen yan, that's more tapping into the forest tree density concept. Because it's high density, therefore, when we are sen yan used mostly in the context of closely watched or supervised. You can imagine it as supervision camera, right? So if it's sen yan, that means you have a high density of observing points. So somebody would have a harder time to find a loophole to escape from this, watch over zone. So picture prison, I guess we often pair sen yan means somewhere is highly watched or guarded. And we use the forest, this is sen character, to show the density of surveillance over there. Okay. And then yin sen, yin is the same as the yin yang. In the West, people probably heard that one a lot. This yin actually means shade. It means where the sun cannot directly shed light on. So that's the no sun zone. And we paired that with sen, yin sen. This sen means there's no sunlight in there. And that is tapping into the forest's diversity concept, because it's vertically stacking up. Therefore, the canopies are going to overlap, right? And the sunlight are not going to get in easily. So it's more like a forest, big canopy overlapping because of a different height, because of the diversity. Therefore, there is no sunlight or minimum sunlight in there. And therefore, the whole zone within the forest, it will be dark, it will be shaded. So that's yin sen, and normally Chinese use this expression to describe some dark area. Okay, so mu lin sen is a Chinese way to say singular wood as a category, woods as a cluster of trees, lower density, not as diverse as a sen, which is a forest, has multiple dimensions, different tree heights, and definitely as a tree is denser. And here I'm showing you the picture of how the canopies of the trees in a highly dense forest environment, that's sunlight. The only chance for the sunlight to get in there is when it's rising, when the canopies are, because canopy is on the top, right? So when the sun is going horizontally, that's the only way for the light to get into the forest. And that gives you the image of yin sen, why it, to explain why yin sen of the heavily shaded forest scene over there come from. And there you go. That's our mu lin sen. Thank you for your time. See you another day.